I have the pleasure of interviewing a very special woman today, and I tell you, when you have a chance, Rolanda, you can come on up and have a seat. We'll just let you sit right there, and I'm gonna say nice things about you if that's okay.
Oh, that's quite all right.
You want me to say good ones this time?
Please.
Well, see, both of us happen to have spent some time in television, and both of us happen to work for Eyewitness News at one time. She was on the East Coast, and I was on the left coast. But Rolanda Watts happens to be an extremely talented individual. And when I talk about talent, listen to some of the things. I mean, you think about it. She is an actress, a producer, a voiceover artist, a novelist, a motivational speaker, a radio and television talk show host. And she was a host of Rolanda, that was a wonderful internationally syndicated talk show that ran from 1994 to 1998. She starred in 11 major films, so you've seen her beautiful face on the big screen, also on that little screen, even though it's gotten a lot larger these days, huh? But on the television shows, such shows, and I'm gonna run down just a list of them: Seventh Heaven, Jag, The West Wing, The Steve Harvey Show, Boston Public, Bold and the Beautiful, and most recently, and where I had the pleasure of seeing her last, was the on-camera announcer for Judge Joe Brown. Please, a nice Shepherd's Grove welcome to Rolanda Watts.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's great to meet you, and to get you motivated. I know your parents were extremely successful, Velma and Roland Watts. And how did their successful careers in academia really motivate you to become the best you can be?
Well, my parents were very much into positive thinking, believing in yourself, and having faith. My mother's favorite line is, if you're going to pray, don't worry. If you're going to worry, don't pray. And
That's good.
You know, and have faith and believe in yourself. My father taught me unconditional love. He taught me to find the God in myself and to love her fiercely. And he was an artist. And I laugh today because I used to run my mouth so much as a kid that my dad would say, listen, here's a tape recorder and a microphone. Go in your room, tell the story to the microphone, make up all the voices, run the water if there's water, do that, and then come play it for dinner and we'll listen. I laugh at that today because what do I do today for a living? I go in a little room, I make up voices in a microphone, and I do that. So I thank my father so much, and I think that being a quirky little girl who had a very deep voice, they used to call me Froggy, and I sounded like a boy. Today I'm a voiceover artist. They said I talk too much. Today I'm a talk show host. They said I was too bossy. Today I'm the CEO and president of my own company and executive producer. They said I was too dramatic. Well, now I'm a paid actor in Hollywood. So I think my father taught me to take my faults and always know that they are gifts and that God gives us so many gifts, like a big toy box. And I hope that all of my life is about pulling out those toys and playing with them, being available for my gifts to be used, and to tell stories that affect people's lives in a positive way.
Well, it's amazing. You graduated with honors from Spelman University, went and got your degree in journalism from Columbia University. But with all of that talent, what made you go to television first as a reporter and choose that field?
Well, I have a big personality. And I think Gary Zukav says it best when he says, let your personality be the vehicle that lets your spirit express itself. And I believe that television was it's just my vehicle. I just love it, and it just is a place where I find my comfort zone. I love radio also, and film, and
yeah, and voiceover work.
Right.
And naturally, and you love life, which is
life.
more importantly.
I do.
Now, in your particular case, you were at WNBC when you earned an Emmy nomination. Then you decided to go to Inside Edition. What made you decide, hey, I'd like to do my own television talk show?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Sometimes other people believe and see things in you that you don't see yet. Roger King, who was a very dear friend and also the #1 salesman in television, he started the Oprah Show, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, Inside Edition, the Rolanda Show. He said, you know something, you have a lot more to say than just in a minute, 30 seconds. He said, I think you could handle a whole hour. And I said, you know, I'm really not a talk show host. I'm a journalist. I don't really want to do that. And so for 5 years, I kept saying no. And then finally, he was in a business situation where he needed somebody to come in and take over a show. And we didn't have it. You know, it takes shows 2 years sometimes to get on air. My show didn't even have a pilot. Was on Inside Edition. I had to go right in and start the show to save the time slot. And I really found my rhythm. I really enjoyed it. We had a wonderful 4-year run. We were really focused on families in crisis. And I used my faith to do that show. And we helped kids get out of gangs. We helped children not commit suicide. We talked about some very tough family issues because families go through some tough times. And I thought it was important to talk about it. Then the era changed. As you know, people thought it was more fun to throw chairs and disrespect people. And I walked away. I think that integrity in storytelling, our stories are the most important thing in our lives. And I wanted to give respect to those. So I decided to go and do some other things.
Your radio talk show, talk about that a bit.
Oh, my little radio show. I call it the show I do in my pajamas and no lashes. It's an internet radio show called Sundays with Rolanda. And I talk about inspiration. I talk about reinventing yourself, trying something new, not being afraid to fail, and going for your dreams. And we talk a lot about the faith that it takes to do that. You know, how we face the fear and we do it anyway. And it has been tremendous. We got picked up by the Tavis Smiley Network. You can find it on your phone or this is the beauty of the computer age today. You can go in the computer and just put in sundayswithrolanda.com and there you go. You can listen to all the archives. There's some wonderful archives there. I've spoken with everybody from Reverend Della Reese and Dr. Maya Angelou and Jack Canfield and MC Light and just some Stedman Graham, some really wonderful people. So I hope you'll check it out.
Well, we enjoyed Judge O'Brown. That was fun. Is anything like that coming up in the near future?
Okay, I'm going to make an announcement, and I promised you I would break news here.
Okay, here it goes.
Okay, you ready? I'm starting a new job on Monday. You're going to hear this voice on divorce court. I know. You know, what's so funny is that I just started writing an article for a new magazine that's coming out, a digital magazine. It's called Couples Max. And what I realized, there are not many magazines or publications that deal with couples. So it's so funny because one gift I'm using is to keep couples together, and the other gift I'm using is to talk about people who are ready to split up. So I don't know what's going on, but I hope you'll listen out for Divorce Court.
You know, you're a 5-star Dove Foundation winner, Family and Faith, and tell us what it's like to keep your faith alive in Hollywood.
Oh, gosh. How long do we have? Faith, I think, my faith, and I am a mentor to several young people, and faith is everything in Hollywood. You have to have a strong foundation. I think when things are swirling around you, you're being tested every second of the day about your integrity. And you have to stand strong. You can't run around with everything that's thrown around you. You have to be centered. And you have to have faith to believe in yourself. This is a town of rejection. If you're not a size 2, if you're not a certain whatever to be, you have the look, the it thing, whatever that is, you just really have to know who you are and trust and believe. You know, jobs are constantly changing. You're constantly being enticed into things that you do. You know, another thing my parents taught me is show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And I think a lot of it is who you connect with in Hollywood. And also the thing about believing in what you are and what it is, the story that you want to tell in your Hollywood experience.
And I think it's starting to show too, because I noticed during the past year, there have been wonderful movies of faith, and you're actually putting God in the forefront, and that's nice to see.
It's wonderful.
Now, if you had anything to say to the folks here and those that are watching on the Hour of Power, some advice, some words of wisdom, what would it be?
Everything's already all right. Everything's already all right.
I think they just need to realize that.
Just trust, just trust. Just trust in the process. Slow down. And I have to tell myself this all the time. Slow down and trust in the process.
And trust the good Lord.
Trust the good Lord. That's right.
That will get you through it every time. Now, we really appreciate you being with us this morning, and we're looking forward to watching on Divorce Court and hearing what's going on with that.
You have no idea. I grew up watching Reverend Schuller. This is such a huge honor for me. You have no idea. And you too.
Well, thank you very much. Been around here for a couple of weeks, and it's been kind of nice. It's 1970, so it's kind of good. She's going to be around later in the morning for us, and you have an opportunity to meet Rolanda. And I'll tell you, she is one very special person. And she has a DVD, A Mother's Love, a film by Tim Alexander, that she happened to star in, that she has available, and she'll sign it for you. And we are so grateful for you being with us. And I'll tell you, when you see someone like you on television, you see someone like you that's actually out in the media, and you wonder what they're like and how they are. And to me, to meet you has been a true honor.
Thank you.